Okay, this is a tutorial video on how to use the Romexis scanning software and compare analysis software for Class 1 preparations. We start off by opening the Romexis software. This allows us to scan in our preparation. If this is your first time using it, add a patient for yourself. We're going to use student 1 as the person ID, and we'll add a first name and a last name. These are the three things that you need in order to create your scan. Save the patient. It'll show up in the top right that that's the patient being used. From here you can use the CAD/CAM tab, which will allow you to create a new scan. Select New Scan Only. So grab your typodont and the scanner in order to scan the prep. Go to the Scan tab at the top. Turn on the scanner by pressing the button and prepare to begin your scan. Start directly over the prep. Move to the mesial and then rotate over to the buccal. Slide distally till you get about half of the tooth distal to the prep tooth. Slide over the occlusal to the lingual side. Bring it back to the prep tooth and back up to the occlusal surface. Stop scanning by turning off the scanner. Then select Generate Model. Use the right click on the mouse to rotate the model around. Over on the right, you'll see the data density view. This will allow you to see if there are any areas that you missed inside the preparation as you were scanning. You can see the bright blue spot. We'll go back and rescan this area in order to make sure that we get all the information we need. In order to rescan, just turn the scanner back on and scan the specific areas that were blue on the model that you generated. Once you're done rescanning, click Generate Model, and this will create a new model that you can use to evaluate. So go back to Data Density view, use the right click to rotate the model, and it looks like we've gotten all the areas that we need. This model looks good. We can use the Erase tool to eliminate additional information on the model that we won't need for our comparison. Usually half of the tooth on either side of the prep tooth is sufficient to do an appropriate comparison. As you select the pencil, this will allow you to generate a new model. A brief tutorial on how to use the mouse. You can zoom in and out with the mouse wheel. Rotate it by using the right click, and then you can grab the model and move it around by clicking and holding the mouse wheel. Go back to the CAD/CAM view. From here we can export the scan so that we can import it into the Compare software. Select the file of the scan that you just made, go to File, Export, Export CAD/CAM Case. Here you can select the location that you're going to export to. We're going to export it to the desktop, and we're going to rename it to Student 1. Click Export. From here you can close the Romexis software. Our Student 1 exported file is on the desktop. It's currently a zip file which will need to be extracted. You can extract by right-clicking and selecting Extract All. After you extract, you'll see an unzipped folder of the same name. So from here we can open the compare software and import our scan to compare it to a master file. First we'll load the master file, which is the prep prepared by the faculty. As you're navigating to that file, you need to select the entire prep folder in order to open the master prep file. You can see that the master file has been loaded. Now you can load the student sample. Navigate to the folder, Student 1, click on your scan, export, and then find the prep folder again. Select the entire folder and it will open the student sample. You'll see that the sample file will always be gold and the master file is white. This will allow you to identify which is which as you do your comparison. First, click on the Define tab on the left hand, which will allow us to drag a line the two models together. So drag the master model over the student. Make sure you rotate it or all three planes to align it properly. As you look at it from every angle and drag them to align properly, hit the green check and that will align the two models appropriately. Look for the leopard print to show you that there's an even distribution between the master and the student sample. Hit the compare button at the bottom of the left-hand side and click Compute Difference. The color on the student sample will change after you compute the difference. Because this is an internal prep and not a crown prep, the colors on the student sample are not very significant. There are multiple views that you can use to evaluate your prep. Each one shows either the master or the sample. On this view, the current outline shows the master prep outline. In order to see how our student sample compares, we'll have to use the Slice Plane tool to see how the outlines are different. Slice planes also allow us to make accurate measurements as we're evaluating our prep. The Mesial distal slice plane can be used by grabbing the small blue dot on the slice and adjusting it to the point where you can measure what you're looking to measure. In order to measure the marginal ridges, we're going to go to the center of the mesial marginal ridge, turn the model on its side and zoom in. This allows us to closely see the difference between the student sample and the master sample outlines. The distance tool, which is used by selecting the ruler, will allow you to measure the depth of the mesial and distal pits. Here you can see that both the distal pit depth and the distal marginal ridge have been measured. In order to delete the measurements, you click the red X and click on the line measurements. This process can be repeated on the other end to measure the pit depth and the marginal ridge thickness. This view also allows you to evaluate the divergence of the preparation. The buccolingual slice allows us to take an accurate central pit depth measurement. So we'll orient our slice plane in the middle of the central pit on the lingual side of the tooth, rotate the model so that we can appropriately view the pit, zoom in the model, and again use the measuring tool to measure the depth of the central pit. This view also allows you to see how your outline form differs from the master. If you grab the slice on the small blue dot and slide it back and forth, you can see how your prep differs from that of the master. The occlusal slice plane allows us to take an accurate measurement of the isthmus width. Again, using the measurement tool will allow you to measure the isthmus width at the appropriate places. So the three slice views are the ways that we evaluate the preps relative to the master. Again, you can toggle through the different views to see the student view or the master prep view. And that is how we use the Compare software to evaluate a Class 1 occlusal preparation.